Hello and welcome, Mark here, and in this episode we're going to crochet up the Griddle Stitch. Isn't that lovely? Gives a lovely textured square, or to say a lovely textured stitch. I'll just read the notes I put down here so I don't miss anything. Right, so this stitch uses two of your basic stitches, the double and the treble. That's of course UK terms. So if you're outside the UK, that would be a single and a double. I'm sorry if you can hear that beeping, it's just the bin men coming down the street right there. Now this is worked on a 2-row repeat and on an odd number of stitches. But when you work your foundation chain, you need an even number. That's just because you need a chain 1. And of course, it is only one-sided, even though the reverse side is quite interesting. But you do get, oh, there's a hair there, and you do get the better effect on the front side. So there you go. That's everything I wanted to say about that. So let's see how we work up the Griddle Stitch. So let's get crafting, shall we? Alright, there we are. I have 16 chains ready to go. And I'm going to turn this over and work into the back bumps. And you miss the first chain, go into the second, and work your double crochet. And then you just work a double crochet into every chain along the foundation row. Sorry, to create your foundation row. You just continue in that way. And to the end of the row, so I shall meet back up with you when I finish the foundation row. And so with chain 1, turn, and if you don't know how to work a double crochet or the treble crochet, I shall leave links to those in the description field down below. Also, I will also leave the pattern information as well down below as well. So in the first stitch there, we work a DC, and then we repeat treble into the next stitch, DC into the stitch after that, and that's a pattern repeat. A treble into the next stitch, and then a DC into the stitch after that. And that's it. That's the sequence for row 1. Treble and a DC. Got 3. Oh, nearly did a treble then. I've only just done one. A treble, and then of course don't forget the last stitch. It's there. There's just that little V there right at the bottom, and you work a DC into that last one. Oh, I'm splitting the yarn. There we go. Done it. Awesome. And there you go. That is row 1. And the pattern effect is actually worked on the other side. So the row 1 is actually a wrong side row, and then the row 2 is actually a right side row. So now we turn. Just get some more yarn there. And you can either chain 1, then turn, and then turn, and then chain 1. Row 2 is working DCs into every stitch along the row. Isn't that easy? And it's so awesome as well. Now, just those 2 little stitches can make such an awesome pattern. This is one of my favourite stitches. All you have to do, remember, is when you're on row 1, is the sequence of DCs and trebles. Don't forget to place that last DC into that last stitch. And there you go. That is row 1 and row 2 worked. Doesn't look very pretty at the moment because you've only done one set. But you just keep working those until you end up with something like this. It is a shame that it's not double-sided, but you do get a lovely effect on the back. I'm just going to work one more repeat, just to remind everybody what a row 1 is. That's basically how you're doing all your fancy work. Move that out of the way. So again, we chain 1 and turn, or turn and then chain 1, and then we work DC into the first stitch, and then the pattern repeat is a treble into the next stitch, and a DC into the stitch after that. And that's your sequence: treble, DC, treble, and a DC. And sometimes it is easy to lose track of what you've done here. Sometimes you have to look and think, oh well, that's a taller stitch, so I did a treble, so the next one is a DC. Or that's a small stitch, so the next stitch is a treble. Just like that. And you know you got it right because you should end the row with a DC. There you go, the DC there. And look, you can already see the effect of the pattern forming. It's a lovely stitch, this. So you chain 1 and turn, and then this row 2 is just DCs all the way across. Now what can you use this stitch for? Let's see. You can use it for household items like cushions, blankets. If you're going to use cotton yarn for it, you could make it into a dishcloth or washcloth or something like that. As for wearables, you could use this stitch for ponchos, sweaters or cardigans, things like that. You could even use this pattern, I suppose, for hats, scarves, but do remember it is only one-sided, but you do get a lovely effect. But there you go, and that's just after 2 repeats. There you go, that's all we need today. So if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe. And until next time here on Mark Makes Stitches, bye.